welcome back to my channel. Spend time with our Father, like I've always advised. It's nice to spend time with our Father at least once a day, either through reading the Bible, doing prayer, or doing some kind of a Bible study. Right, so this is day 83 of our Bible reading session. We're already into day 83, almost done with 2 months, and I'm really excited. So today we will be reading Leviticus chapter 13, where it talks about regulations about infectious skin diseases. Alright, so before we go ahead, we will first read the verse of the day. Today's verse is Matthew chapter 6, verse 19. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. So this is the verse of the day. We see here, I think it's pretty obvious, right? Anything, I mean, it's really, when we think about it, after we die, we really cannot carry any of our wealth that we have, right? Let's say we have a huge number of properties. After we die, we really cannot carry them with us to heaven, right? Or, you know, only our body goes to the grave, and that's it. And our body goes back, returning, going back to how God made us, to mud, right? Whatever, right? So yeah, it's pointless to gather so much of wealth. I think I from my own experience too, I mean, not me personally, I'm not rich, but from what I've seen, people who are really wealthy, they really have no peace. Like, I swear, they really have no peace of mind. I just feel like even when they sleep, they don't have a good sound sleep, because they're worried about many things, about, let's say, especially today's world, everything's digital, right? They'd be worried about their money being scammed, their the companies falling, and all of that. I think they will not get sleep like how we menial people get very sound 7 hours of very good sleep. I've been getting such good sleep that I don't realize that I sleep facing up and my neck faces sideways, and then when I wake up in the morning, and it hurts because I just don't realize that I'm sleeping that way. I mean, it is what it is, but yeah. So yeah, it's pointless to store up so much of wealth. It's really pointless. It takes us nowhere. It doesn't give us peace. We have to be worried about everything. Tax, let's say, for tax example, right? The amount of money that will be deducted for tax, the amount of people who expect so much from people who are wealthy, right? So yeah, I mean, it's pointless. So here it says where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal, right? So again, many chances of our wealth being stolen as well, right? So that is the verse of the day. We will read Leviticus chapter 13. I will read from the tablet. I feel like it's better. I don't have to look down. Alright, so regulations about defiling skin diseases. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, when anyone has a swelling or a rash or a shiny spot on their skin, that may be a defiling skin disease, they must be brought to Aaron, the priest, or to one of his sons who is a priest. The priest is to examine the sore on the skin, and if the hair in the sore has turned white, and the sore appears to be more than deep skin, it is a defiling skin disease. When the priest examines that person, he shall pronounce them ceremonially unclean. If the shiny spot on the skin is white, but does not appear to be more than skin deep, and the hair in it has turned white, the priest is to isolate the affected person for 7 days. On the 7th day, the priest is to examine them, and if he sees that the sore is unchanged and has not spread in the skin, he is to isolate them for another 7 days. On the 7th day, the priest is to examine them again, and if the sore has faded and has not spread in the skin, the priest shall pronounce them clean. It is only a rash. They must wash the clothes, and they will be clean. And if the rash does spread in their skin after they have shown themselves to the priest to be pronounced clean, they must appear before the priest again. The priest is to examine that person, and if the rash has spread in the skin, he shall pronounce them unclean. It is a defiling of the skin. So we see here how the different types of skin diseases are being examined by the priests, right? So God has given the priests full authority to check, the different types of diseases. So same thing here too, depending on the severity of the disease, the skin disease, they are to be treated accordingly, right? Be locked up for 7 days. Obviously not locked up, but be separated from the rest for 7 days. If it's a lighter, less severe skin disease, then all they have to do is just wash the clothes and it will be clean, right? So when anyone has a defiling skin disease, they must be brought to the priest. So they should be brought to the priest. The priest is to examine them, and if there is a white swelling in the skin that has turned the hair white, and if there is raw flesh in the swelling, it is a chronic skin disease, and the priest shall pronounce them unclean. He is not to isolate them, because they are already unclean. If the disease breaks out all over their skin, and so far as the priest can see, it covers all the skin of the affected person from head to foot, the priest is to examine them, and if the disease has covered the whole body, he shall pronounce them clean. Since it has all turned white, they are cleaned. But whenever raw flesh appears to them, they will be unclean. When the priest sees the raw flesh, he shall pronounce them unclean. The raw flesh is unclean, they have a defiling disease. If the raw flesh changes and turns white, they must go to the priest. The priest is to examine them, and if the sores have turned white, the priest shall pronounce the affected person clean. Then they will be clean. When someone has a boil on their skin and it heals, and in the place where the boil was, a white swelling or reddish white spot appears, they must present themselves to the priest. I can hear my dog crying. I just took a bath for him, and he's so upset. He just wants to follow me around. But I'm not letting him go out because he wants to go out and he'll be all dirty again. So he's crying outside my door. All right, so the priest is to examine it, and if it appears to be more than skin deep and the hair in it has turned white, the priest shall pronounce that person unclean. It is a defiling skin disease that has broken out where the boil was. But if when the priest examines it, there is no white hair in it, and it is not more than skin deep and has faded, then the priest is to isolate them for 7 days. If it is spreading in the skin, the priest shall pronounce them unclean. It is a defiling disease. But if the spot is unchanged and has not spread, it is only a scar from the boil, and the priest shall pronounce them clean. When someone has a burn on their skin and a reddish white or white spot appears in the raw flesh of the burn, the priest is to examine the spot, and if the hair in it has turned white and it appears to be more than skin deep, it is a defiling disease that has broken out in the burn. The priest shall pronounce them unclean. It is a defiling skin disease. But if the priest examines it and there is no white hair in the spot, and if it is not more than skin deep and has faded, then the priest is to isolate them for 7 days. On the 7th day, the priest is to examine that person, and if it is spreading in the skin, the priest shall pronounce them unclean. It is a defiling skin disease. If, however, the spot is unchanged and has not spread in the skin but has faded, it is a swelling from the burn, and the priest shall pronounce them clean. It is only a scar from the burn. If a man or woman has a sore on the head or chin, the priest is to examine the sore, and if it appears to be more than skin deep, and the hair in it is yellow and thin, the priest shall pronounce them unclean. It is a defiling skin disease on the head or chin. But if, when the priest examines the sore, it does not seem to be more than skin deep, and there is no black hair in it, then the priest is to isolate the affected person for 7 days. On the 7th day, the priest is to examine the sore, and if it has not spread and there is no yellow hair in it, and it does not appear to be more than skin deep, then the man or woman must shave themselves except for the affected area. And the priest is to keep them isolated another 7 days. On the seventh day, the priest is to examine the sore, and if it has not spread in the skin and appears to be no more than skin deep, the priest shall pronounce them clean. They must wash their clothes, and they will be clean. But if the sore does spread in the skin after they are pronounced clean, the priest is to examine them, and if he finds that the sore the sore has spread in the skin, he does not need to look for yellow hair. They are unclean. If, however, the sore is unchanged so far as the priest can see, and if the black hair has grown in it, the affected person is healed. They are clean, and the priest shall pronounce them clean. When a man or woman has white spots on the skin, the priest is to examine them, and if the spots are dull white, it is a harmless rash that has broken out on the skin. They are clean. A man who has lost his hair and is bald is clean. If he has lost his hair from the front of his scalp and has a bald forehead, he is clean. But if he has a reddish white sore on his bald head or forehead, it is a defiling disease breaking out on his head or forehead. The priest is to examine him, and if the swollen sore on his head or forehead is reddish white, like a defiling skin disease, the man is diseased and is unclean. The priest shall pronounce him unclean because of the sore on his head. Anyone with such a defiling skin disease must wear torn clothes, let the skin be unkempt, cover the lower part of their face, and cry out, unclean, unclean. Oh, that's so sad. Imagine if we had to do that today, with the different types of diseases. Let's say, example AIDS, right? What if we have to do something like that, cover your face and shout out? Oh, that's so sad. But again, I'm so grateful that Jesus came and he saved us. We don't have to go through all these, different steps, different processes that, to keep ourselves clean or to ask for forgiveness. As long as they have the disease, they remain unclean. They must live alone. They must live outside the camp. Now we will talk about regulations about defiling molds. As far as any fabric that is spoiled with a defiling mold, any woolen or linen clothing, any woven or knitted material of linen or wool, any leather or anything made of leather, if the affected area in the fabric, the leather, the woven or knitted material or any other leather article is greenish or reddish, it is a defiling mold and must be shown to the priest. The priest is to examine the affected area and isolate the article for 7 days. On the 7th day, he is to examine it, and if the mold had spread in the fabric, the woven or knitted material, or the leather, whatever its use, it is a persistent defiling mold. The article is unclean. He must burn the fabric, the woven or knitted material, or wool or linen, or any leather article that has been spoiled because the defiling mold is persistent. The article must be burned. But if, when the priest examines it, the mold has not spread in the fabric, the woven or knitted material, or the leather article, he shall order that the spoiled article be washed. Then he is to isolate it for another 7 days. After the article has been washed, the priest is to examine it again, and if the mold has not changed its appearance, even though it has not spread, it is unclean. Burn it, no matter which side of the fabric has been spoiled. If, when the priest examines it, the mold has faded after the article has been washed, he is to tear the spoiled part out of the fabric, the leather, or the woven or knitted material. But if it reappears in the fabric, in the woven or knitted material, or in the leather article, it is a spreading mold. Whatever has the mold must be burned. Any fabric, woven or knitted material, or any leather article that has been washed and is rid of the mold must be washed again. Then it will be clean. These are the regulations concerning defiling molds in woolen or linen clothing, woven or knitted material, or any leather article, for pronouncing them clean or unclean. This is a pretty long chapter. I'm out of breath. So we have come to the end of chapter 13 here, where we've seen, what are the things that are needed to be done for different types of skin diseases, and also for molds that we see, especially in the rainy season, molds do gather in our clothing. So yeah, what are to be done on those clothing? I think if it wasn't today's time, we see molds, we just wash it off, or try to get rid of it somehow. But yeah. Alright, so we have come to the end of chapter 13. Tomorrow we will continue with chapter 14. I hope you all can join me. I thank you all for watching, if it's just a few seconds, a few minutes, but I thank you for checking out my channel and just watching me blabber and read the Bible. But my intention is to read the Bible till the whole Bible, till Revelations, and I'm pretty excited to keep going on, to continue reading the Bible. I really feel at ease when I read the Bible. I just feel happy. Whatever the situation it is, I just feel really happy. No matter how tired I am, I just feel happy. Reading the Bible, doing the Bible study, also a prayer, whether it's a short prayer or a long prayer, but I do feel content after, spending some time, with the Word and also praying. So we will meet again tomorrow. Please join me again tomorrow. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel. Please support me as well, my journey. I'm very new in wanting to know God more. I'm very, very, very new. I'm still lacking in many things in my walk with Jesus Christ, but I just want to keep saying that He is my Savior. He has saved me many times, many, many, many times I cannot count, and I know He will always be there by my side and never leave me or my family or my friends, and I'm just so grateful to have Him. He is Jesus Christ. You are my Savior. You light my way, you light my path, you guide me through each and everything, through small nudges that I feel in my heart. I know you show me the right path, you teach me the right way to walk in this world, and it just gives me so much satisfaction. I've never been happy like how I have been after knowing Jesus, and there's no way ever that I will turn away from Jesus Christ, and I know He is the only way to our Father, and it's all Lord and it's all Jesus Christ and His work, and He's the only way. All right, so I hope you all have a good day. I hope you all have a good night, and we will meet again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine.